Hello, it's Alex from the Xibo project, and welcome to this, the first in a new series of videos that we're going to be putting out over the coming weeks, looking at what's new in the 1.8 series of Xibo that was released in April 2017. In this first video, we're going to be looking at Xibo Message Relay, or XMR, and the player actions that allows the content management system to perform. So if we switch first over into the content management system, you can see we're in the display settings profile page. Those of you who've used Xibo in the past with the 1.7 or earlier series will be familiar of the concept of a collection interval. So the player polling the content management system periodically to download new content. If we look at the Windows profile that's been assigned in here, we can see the collection interval's been set to 1 hour, which means the player will only connect to the server for new content automatically once an hour. What XMR allows us to do is add in an extra collection or run a custom action on demand without having to wait for that collection interval to come round. So let's bring up the player as well, so you can see the player there, and head over to the displays page, and let's do something really simple first. So if we have a look, there's an existing screenshot in the system. It's 1223. If I request a new one, you can see instantly we've got a new screenshot back from the player. And if I just move that out of the way, so you can see the time on there is come back as 12:39, which is correct and agrees with the time on the player. So from a content point of view, let's head over to the layouts section. You can see here I've defined two layouts, XMR-A and XMR-B. They're just a simple text layout with a clock in the corner in varying colours. So if I schedule those onto the player, so first let's always have XMR-A. You'll notice that straight away the player is notified that it's got a new schedule and that it should be showing XMR-A, and it's downloaded that content and switched straight to it. If I then go and delete that schedule, straight away the player is notified that it shouldn't be showing that anymore and it's removed. If I then pick XMR-B, again, straight away it's shown. And if I remove it, it will be deleted. Now, clearly, if you are putting a new layout on, which has a lot of large content, a lot of videos or something, then there is going to be some delay while that content is downloaded. However, the player is notified straight away that there is something new for it to pick up, and it will start doing so straight away. If we head over to the displays page, we can have a look at the player actions. Now, these are similar to the shell commands that you might have seen in 1.7 and earlier series, and basically they allow us to run one-time commands on the player, again in real time. So what I'm going to do is go to the send command menu, and I've already defined two commands in the system. One is to reboot the player and one is to restart the player application. So we're going to do the restart first. So if I just send that, you'll notice straight away the player application closes, and then after a short delay you'll see that the player watchdog notices that the player is no longer running and restarts it. While it does that, what we're going to do is have a quick look at how I've set that up. So if we go into the commands section, you'll see that there's two commands defined in the system, one called reboot, one called restart. And if you notice there, the player application's been restarted there when the watchdog noticed that it stopped running. You have to give them an internal code that's just as a one-word code that defines that command within the system, and then a description to describe what those commands do. If we then go over to our display settings and our Windows profile, on the commands tab, we can see what's actually going to be run on the player. So our reboot command is shutdown/R/T0, which will tell Windows to restart immediately. And similarly, our restart player application runs the Windows task kill command with the /F/IM Xibo client exe, and what that does is it finds all instances of Xibo client exe and kills them. And then the watchdog will take over and start it back up. So if I go back to the displays page, let's run the reboot just to make sure that works. So that's set to reboot player, hit save, and you'll notice that Windows restarts. So I hope that gives you a reasonable overview of what XMR is, what it can do for you, and gives you some thought, some scope for thought of things you might be able to use it for in your environment.